It's a snowy day in Cleveland, although spring is about 9 days away. Um, I thought I would take a tour of my entire plant collection. I spend a lot of time in the evenings watching plant care videos and houseplant home tours, and they bring me a lot of enjoyment. And I thought since some of my friends have enjoyed following my plant journey, you might enjoy a plant tour. So here we go. I'm going to start with this one. It's a chocolate anthurium. I'm not sure why I don't show it more often because I really love it. You can see it has a new leaf, has another new leaf on its way. I got this maybe 2 months ago from a local seller. Not really a seller, more of an enthusiast, hobbyist. He does some trades and, like a little bit of selling here and there. Yeah, I need to show this one more because it brings me a lot of joy. This is a new one this week, again from a local seller. It's an Anthurium crystallinum, and she will go in the cabinet eventually, but is over here right now in sort of a little bit of a quarantine for a while. And then this is a Diane edule. It is, oh sugar, I can't remember the name of the plants with the bulbs like that. It's a very slow grower. Eventually it'll get quite tall. And I will maybe put a link in the comments to what they look like when they're more mature. This is my favorite Hoya species and one of my favorite plants overall. It's a Hoya macrophylla. It hasn't bloomed for me yet. None of my Hoyas have, which isn't surprising since they're all well under a year old and most of them are from cuttings. So it'll be exciting when they do start blooming, but in the meantime, I absolutely love the leaves on this Hoya. So much so that I probably have 3 or 4 of them all together in my collection. Moving over here to above the sink. This is absolutely one of my favorites. It was a wish list plant for a long time. It's the Warqueanum anthurium. I'm sorry, Warqueanum anthurium. It's also referred to as the queen. You can see there's a new leaf starting. It actually had a little tiny bud when I got her about a month and a half, 2 months ago. And it just sort of sat there for a while, but in the last several days it's started to grow a little. So I'm pretty eager to see it continue to develop. That's what the leaves look like. This is an anthurium cross between a crystallinum and a crystal hope. She's about a month and a half, maybe 2 months to my collection. She has a little tiny bit of a new leaf emerging, starting to come out. But I think that's going to be quite a while. Let's move on to the plants that hang from the plant hanger that Alex installed earlier this year, or was it, I don't know, a while ago. First we have this Marble Queen Pothos, Epiprenum aureum, I think. Some of the leaves are a little bit reverting, and that's because it wants more sun. This is one of the plants that'll go outside once it's warm enough. This is Trebui Moonlight. Pretty. Fairly happy, but definitely not as happy as when she was outside. Another Epiprenum. This one is Cebu Blue. She has some trails starting, quite a bit of space between the nodes, which it's because it's, we're not in a high light time. So once spring comes and I'm ready to move it outside. I'll probably trim it, and I'm sure she'll take off and grow again and have a little tighter space between the nodes. Another one of my all-time favorite, philodendron micans, another plant that I have multiples of. The leaves are this almost kind of a bronzy, reddish bronzy color when they first emerge. They are soft, velvety leaf. Again, as the warmer weather and longer days get here, she'll start trailing more. This one is a big trailer, even in the slow growing season. I've trimmed her twice this winter. This is a standard heartleaf philodendron. Never gives me a bit of trouble. I purchased her on Facebook Marketplace when my sister and Zoe were here this summer. Zoe thought it was just mind-blowingly amazing that you could buy a plant from someone on Facebook and then go pick it up. I don't know why, but she thought that was pretty wild. So this is another one that goes outside in the summer and really thrives, although I have to say she's been pretty happy even with the low light here in the winter. Another Hoya, it's a Crimson Princess. Not much to say. She's just sort of quietly doing her thing. Silver Glory String of Hearts. This is pretty new, like maybe 5 weeks to my care. Got her at Pandy's greenhouse. Top is a little sparse, which is not uncommon. I have some pieces wound around. Hopefully it'll fill out a little bit. And then another fairly common philodendron. This is a Brazil. I love it. The colors on the leaves are quite stunning. This is another one I've trimmed probably twice so far this summer. Again, some reverted leaves, but that'll happen when it doesn't get as much light in the winter as it does in the summer. One of my other many micans. And this is a Scindaptus pictus silvery Ann. Pretty silver splash on the leaves. There's a nice look at it. This is my main plant shelf in the living room. Another favorite, and one that was on my wish list for pretty much since I started with plants. It's an Anthurium veitchii. I got this at a local sale from a local grower in Medina. I would call her a semi-professional grower and seller. She does really beautiful plants. She's still doing it out of her home, but she's several steps above what other home growers are doing, I would say. Here's another Hoya Crimson Queen. You can tell when I like a plant, I tend to do multiples. This Hoya, I don't recall, so let's see. This is just a regular old Carnosa. And then you all know Teresa. She's absolutely one of my favorites. She's a Philodendron Tahiti. I got her from one of my favorite local growers, Anna. I don't even remember if I bought her from Anna or if she gifted her to me. Anna's a big gifter. But yeah, Teresa's one of my favorites. Another Hoya macrophilia. with a new leaf emerging. Christmas Carol Aloe. And Philodendron Goldii. So as the plant develops and gets bigger, these will get bigger and bigger as it gets new leaves. And eventually they start to turn into like a spiral. Again, if I remember to, I'll put a link to a more mature one in the comments. This is a variegated peperomia, who's a little bonkers and out of control. I keep thinking that I should prune her, but I don't have the heart to, and so I don't know what I'm going to do. She was gifted to me early last summer by someone who just wasn't in love with her, and she really thrived since she came to our house. Good old Christmas cactus. This is another from Anna. I mean, some of my favorite plants are from Anna. This is a raindrop peperomia. The leaves are gorgeous, gorgeous, glossy, and they have a little cup shape. My Rhaphidophora decursiva, which is referred to as the dragon tail, it is a creeper. You can see the way it creeps across the pot. So probably sometime middle summer, I'll need to repot it and put it into a longer rectangular pot. In the back there, you can see one of my Haworthias. She just keeps going and going and going, lots and lots of pups. Global green pothos that started from a cutting. A mixed, what's the word I'm looking for? Planter. This guy back here, can't remember the name. And then on the middle shelf, there's a string of watermelon. This is my third one. I haven't had a good hand with them. I think I tend to overwater. So we'll see how this goes. And then the rest of these are cuttings, plants that have started from cuttings. There are a few heartleaf philodendron. Here's a Brazil, another Micin, another Snow Queen pothos, another Snow Queen. This was a cutting I purchased in Florida. It's a Philodendron Rio. And then, let me pull up a chair. Silver Sword. This was a wee bitty thing when I first got her, like maybe 4 inches. I think late last spring. And that's how much she's grown. A Ficus elastica burgundy. Rattlesnake calathea, which I adore. A lot of people think calathea are not the easiest to care for. I have not found that to be the case. They do like to stay moist, and since I am a person who spends too much time with her plants, that's probably right up my alley. That's why I have an easy time with her. The Xanadu, who's definitely looking forward to going back outside. The Birkin, she's as beautiful as ever. Then over here, yet another Macrophilia. One of my 2 Stromanthe Triostar. This little coffee plant that was purchased last spring when Diane and I were in Columbus. and it was just barely a plug, like this tall. And now look at her. A variegated jade plant. She's a beauty. And then this is a clivia. I think that's how it's pronounced. This was a gift from my friends Michael and Ron. Never really thrived under my care, but the two newest leaves are quite nice. So I'm hoping that it's past the acclimation point and it's kind of used to being here now. So we'll pass back through the shelf and over to this Dracaena marginata. You don't really see it on the camera, but the edges of the leaves are really pretty pink. And it has a double, or actually a triple stalk. Of course, another Mikan. This one was in the kitchen while we were on vacation. In the kitchen in front of a window that gets a lot of light. And it actually wasn't super happy. They tend to prefer not super strong light. Here's the other Stromanthe Triostar. This one is, I think, an Enjoy pothos. Let's see. Yeah, Epipemum aureum. The particular one is Enjoy. Boy, this one went crazy when it was outside this summer. And it's been fine since it's been inside for the winter, but not, you know, sort of stunted, which is totally fine. Angel wing begonia, which you may remember the deer got to last summer and they chomped it down to nothing, but it's come back. And then one more plant, two more plants in the living room. This is a type of jade. I want to say Gollum, but I'm not exactly sure. And for some reason I don't have a marker in it. And then this is a Euphorbia. Has a little bit of crispy edges, but it just happens with them. I think the amount of crispy edges that she has isn't terrible. Okay, now we're on to the bedroom. This is the rehab Freddie the Fiddle Leaf, who I got maybe midsummer from a plant business in Cleveland. They're like a commercial plant company. They have some sales to get rid of their, rehabs and overstocks. So I want to say once I got Freddie and cleaned him up, I think he had maybe 7 or 9 leaves. And you can see he's got maybe, 3 times that many leaves now. So that's another plant that'll be really happy when it's time to go back outside. I have 2 strawberry rubber trees. They're called ficus. Of course, I can't think of the name right now, but doing okay. I did a little overwatering, as you can see from some of the leaves, so learned my lesson. It's a carnivorous plant, of course. Can't think of the name of it at the moment. It usually has cups on it. My cups have all died off, but I do have some new growth down here and some new cups are starting. This is a little tiny Dieffenbachia. It was about a 2-inch plug when I got it. This Calathea, is it a Crimson Queen? Again, it was about a 2-inch plug. I got it from Etsy quite a while ago. Just doing all right. I think this summer she'll just go to town. Another Scindapsus. This is a silver satin. This plant did not let the winter stop it. It had two quite long vines that were recently cut to propagate. Another Aglaomina. This one is called Lucky Red. Again, this was a little teeny tiny plug when I got it. Then this one, can't remember. I don't think it's an Aglaomina. I didn't mark it. It's sort of a chocolate brown leaf. Down here, Pilea pepermoides, which was a gift from Sarah, who took care of my plants while I was gone. This is a little teeny tiny thing when she gifted me her this summer. And I wasn't sure how happy she was. And then I think once she fully rooted, she just started taking off. My car plant, mother-in-law's tongue, maidenhair fern that never did super well after I did a bug treatment outside last summer, but I just can't give up on her. This is sort of like my rehab shelf. Again, I can't think of the name. Oh, anyway, rehab, working on her, working on it. That's not a rehab. That's another Dieffenbachia. No, sorry, Aglaomina, which is doing pretty well. And then this, it's jasmine. It's Snow and Pearls jasmine that Diane gave me. And this cylindrical Sansevieria, which I bought from someone on Facebook, was just, I would say, about this tall when I got her, and now it's quite big. So I think that's going to be it. I'll make the cabinet its own video. Thanks for spending some time with me looking at my babies, and talk to you soon. Bye.